I think you've been here. Does anything feel different when you come to these OTAs?
Yeah, man. There's a real sense of urgency, I think, from everybody in here, just to be at our best every day. I just feel like I can feel it. Just starting from top down, from AG to Frank, all the way down. It just feels like there's a real sense of urgency.
Well, what do you see in that regard from AG specifically about leadership-wise?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think AG is one of the best leaders I've ever been around. Just the way he carries himself, just with really any situation that's been thrown at him to this point. Man, I've been super impressed.
And does he look more comfortable this year to you?
I mean, I thought he looked comfortable last year too.
What's it like getting used to a new guy to your left, a new guard? And okay, tell us about Dylan.
Yeah, I think it's going really well. He's made it super easy. He's a really smart guy, so he caught on really, really fast to the offense. And the transition has been, pretty seamless.
What have you seen from Minkah, especially him going into his second year?
Yeah, Mimbu has the ability to be, great. Like one of the greats. There's a lot that needs to happen between now and then, but he's got the talent. He's got the mentality, he's a heck of a player.
When you talk about the sense of urgency, I'm guessing it's partly the guys who were here last year want to get it right, but what about the guys who were brought in, veterans who have a lot of experience? Can you sense something from them too?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Demario Davis especially is another guy. I mean, 15-year vet, but when you talk to him, just so impressive. Again, his leadership and just what he brings and that sense of urgency as well. Yeah, absolutely.
How much more comfortable are you, Josh, this year? I mean, last year you came in kind of an uncertain situation, battling it for spring and summer, but now you're a little more solidified here.
Yeah. I mean, comfortable. I've been around these people in this building, and I love everyone in here. So that always helps with the comfortability. But like I said, I mean, urgency now. I'm not settling.
What have you learned or know about Minkah Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, just again, another really very similar to Demario. Just super impressive when you talk to him. Just does everything right.
How helpful can Dylan be to you since he played with Gino last year as far as the things Gino likes and doesn't like and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think some, not quite as much of that, just because it's a different offense and a different system, and it's kind of different. I don't know that there's that much with that.
How do you feel, Harrison? You seem to be fighting through a lot of things last year. You were playing, but you were dinged up a little bit. How do you feel now?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's everyone's going through stuff during the thick of the season. It's grimy in the trenches for sure. It was nice after the season to have some downtime and to try to get the body to recover. And I've been really impressed with the strength staff here and the everyone who oversees our performance staff, because we've been working really hard. A lot of times teams will approach the offseason as players haven't done anything until they get here on April 15th or whatever the date is. So we have to reintroduce everything and start real low. It was made real clear to us when the season finished last year, the expectation when we got here was we're going to be going. And so people approach the offseason with a lot more intensity, so that when we came here we didn't have to have those couple weeks of ramping up. So yeah, everyone's getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
Josh Myers said this, he sees the emergency. Are you seeing that too as well, just with the rest of the team?
Yeah, remember, I don't have anything to gauge off of compared to last OTAs. I wasn't here. So, but I would just say that we've been working really hard, very competitive, and people approach the offseason differently, philosophically, from different coaching trees and how you want to do it. And this is a group that wants to work and wants to earn it. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, is to work really hard and to hopefully earn things now and get a leg up when it comes to the real important times.
What do you see from Devondre's Sweat?
Let's go back. Go ahead.
What do you see from Devondre's Sweat so far?
Genetically, it's incredible. I mean, he's a really large human, and he has pretty good feet for someone of his size. I've really appreciated his willingness to try to take coaching from me. If sometimes people can come in and maybe they feel like they've already got it figured out. I haven't got that from him. and oftentimes he's pulling me to the side, maybe asking some other questions, or if I have some things that I see that he could improve in his game, he's really willing and receptive to hear that. You don't get that from every player that has his talent. So I'm excited for what he could do this season.
Have you run into a guy across your career with, you mentioned his size, just that massive size, and is he nimble?
Yeah, I don't know exactly like weight for weight on the scale, but I played with Dalvin Tomlinson for some time, and when you just watch the film, like the tight copy, and you see the guys playing next to me, and then you see me, you can just feel the space a little differently. We're built a little different. And T. Sweat's one of those guys, when you're watching the tape, I'm like, wait, which one am I? Is that a linebacker in the 3-point stance? Compared to him. So I want to get as many photos taken next to him as I can. It'll make me feel nice and neat.
I'm sorry, can a veteran safety like Minkah make?
How much what?
Of a difference can Minkah as a veteran safety make?
Yeah, a ton. I mean, I would never cap any player really. Even a year one player going into year two can really make a help for a team. But I think Minkah being able to speak the same language as been in the system in Miami with a defensive coordinator, I like having elite communicators and high IQ football players at every level. So somebody up front, somebody in the backer row, and somebody on the back end. And he has that cerebral football IQ that can really get everyone on the same page. Because gosh dang, is it frustrating when somebody walks into an end zone wide open. That's frustrating. And, with the leadership and the high football IQ, we make those guarded at a minimum, right?
That's what I was going to ask you about some of the changes. Mario, Minkah, what are they doing this difference that you guys maybe needed?
Shoot. I want to give you like a really specific answer. Well, I think Double D has this just sense of he's just strong. He's just convicted and strong, and he can lead by example. He can lead vocally. He can lead by running through someone's face. He can lead through compassion and touching somebody because he's such a child of God, and how he can handle himself that way. So he's just an amazing role model for players to lean into, and somebody who I'm younger than he is, and so if I'm waking up like, I got this, and he's out there, I'm like, I don't really have much ground to stand on. This guy's played a lot more snaps in this league and is still out here doing the same thing. So when we have players, I mentioned how aggressive we've been in this offseason trying to get bigger, faster, and stronger. That leads to a few aching pains and a little tight back and a little ankle and stuff. But if we got guys in year 15 and in year 10 and year 13 out there doing it, what can these guys in year 2 really say? They're like, oh, hey, I got to find it too, and we're going to work here. College 15 years ago, those strength and conditioning programs were a lot different than in the NIL world. So maybe this is some people's first taste of like real work, where we're back squatting twice in a week and we're bench pressing twice in a week. And then with Minkah, his leadership style is a little different, but I think what I've really appreciated for him is he asks the questions that no one else is asking. So we might have player-only meetings, and we'll be going through, I don't want to spill too much, but just like if we're all wrapping our head around this thing, he'll ask a question over here that's like, oh, we didn't even look at it from that view. And I really respect his ability to be direct and to ask tough questions.
What have you learned about or observed about David Bailey, the number 1 pick?
Yeah, he's really twitchy. And I want to claim him from Stanford more than Tech. And I've really liked what he can do as as an athlete on the field, not just with his hand down in the dirt, but the different varieties you can do with somebody who can also run and change direction at elite level. Obviously, he can chase down quarterbacks, but there might be some other players he can chase down in space, which really helps you. And our whole rookies in our room, we've got 3 of them, and all 3 of them are wired the right way. I want to I'll say from all the rookies, I reached out. One of the things I do each year after we draft the players, I text them. Jerry gets me their numbers and welcome them to the organization, so they have a contact from someone here that can kind of welcome them. And the responses I got back was different than almost any other year. I've done this for 9 years now. Not just like a like of a message or like nice to meet you, bro. Like really nice written messages. And I was like, hey, this is a little different. This doesn't happen every place I've been. And I've come in and see the rookie class, and I want to shout out our front office and general manager for finding like the right guys who are Jets DNA.
You kind of touched on the leadership of some of the guys here. As a leader on this team, does it make it easier for you in some way to know that you have some other guys who can really assume that role with you.
100%. I'm super thankful to have other allies to help shape this thing in the direction that we want to. Regardless of how this season goes, I mean, anywhere in between 17-0 and 0-17, any of those options, it's really nice to have other brothers that are like-minded to help pick you up when you need a day. It's a very long season, and whether you're riding high and feeling yourself because you're on a 5-game win streak or you're down the dumps on a 5-game lose streak, like, we can then lean in on different leaders. Then if you don't have as many, it's really difficult. And when you don't have as many leaders, sometimes it can feel like dictatorship because, hey, this is the loud voice in the room and we hear it all the time. It's not his team, it's not his defense, it's ours. And so when you have enough leaders, it is our team. We have AG's thumbprint on the whole thing, but it is a player-run team, and we have enough guys now that, from enough different opinions, that we can really shape this thing to come together, and hopefully that closeness parallels with wins.
Was that a challenge for you last year because you were a guy who came in later, and then you were recognized as a leader on the defense, and just was there kind of like a towing the line type of thing for you?
Yeah, when you come into a new environment, you don't know how things are, and you don't want to, hey guys, coach is right, like teacher's pet, that type of thing. It's really tough to, just be true to who you are and lead the way that you can. And I will just say that I'm so thankful for last season and what it had me do, or how I had to respond to that from a stance of leadership. That's going to help me as a husband. It's going to help me as a father. It's going to help me as a teammate in whatever profession I lead in. Having to be able to stand up or to break the team down after a tough loss week after week. And so I'm really thankful that I was able to deal with that, because I think I'll be a more complete leader and husband and follower of Christ and all those things.
Has AG changed at all as a leader, and how would you describe him as a leader?
Shoot, really tough to. I'd love if you asked me that maybe week 3, because I only saw him as a leader during the season. I think he's very consistent, but I just don't have a touch point of what it looked like during last offseason. His messaging, like I told you last year, has always been very consistent, and his energy, his enthusiasm, has always been very steady, and I see that now. He has a little bit more of a smile on his face now, I would say, than compared to the season, but so do I. But I just don't have a good bar against. But I heard Josh's comments about our head coach here, and I would echo all those same things. It's great to have someone like that leading this organization, and even a step above that, what our owners are doing to try to help us win. And when you have an owner that you can look in the face and he tells you whatever you need, whatever this group needs to be better, or to feel more recovered, or to have an advance in our health and safety, we are willing to do that for you. And I don't know if every team has that, but it's a really big blessing to be in an organization where the owners is saying things like that to you personally.
Can you talk about the rookie cornerback, D'Angelo Bonds, the little guy, what you've observed about him?
He's a guy that could do a lot of different things. In college, I think he played a lot of nickel, a lot of outside corner. He has a very, very high IQ for the game. He's a physical guy, and he's willing to do anything that we've been asking him to do so far. By the looks of it, it seems as if he's been in this league for a minute. By the way that he conducts himself as a pro, and as a young guy in this league.
How is your adjustment down here, Minkah?
In regards to?
So just overall to the team and to the defense and to the whole new surroundings.
Just taking it one day at a time. I love playing for AG. He's a guy that played a lot of football in this league. I think he sees the game in a very similar light as me. So when you have a coach that not only played the position that you play, but sees it in a similar light, that's always a good feeling. And I think we have a very great dynamic in regards to the team. I think we have a lot of we have old guys or vets where we need them, and then we have a lot of young, hungry guys who are willing to learn and really want to win.
They made it clear, when they brought you in, DeMario, Onyemata, like they're looking for leadership. How would you describe your leadership style?
My leadership style is more so lead by example, and then when you see a need, something that needs to be met, you address it there. I think that's it really.
How far is your hometown from here, and what's it like being back in Jersey?
It's about an hour away. Jersey's always home to me, no matter where I've been or where I played at. This is where I was born and raised my first 18 years of my life, so it has a very special place in my heart, and I'm really, really excited to come back and win games in the stadium that I played in high school. And I grew up a Philly fan, but most of the people I knew were Jets fans, and I know how much they want to win. So it's really cool that I get to be a part of the culture that, or a part of the program that starts winning again.
Last year you were used a lot. You covered a lot of slot receivers in Miami. I'm wondering, do you like that versatility in your game where you could go down and cover the slot, or do you prefer just being back as like the free safety guy?
I like moving around. I like being able to give the quarterback different looks. I think when you just sit in a half or a post all game, they know that you're back there, and they could dial stuff up for you, but they could also avoid you. So I like being a chess piece. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the slot, but I don't like being a moving target, if that answers the question.
Has anything stood out to you about the defense, or even the team as a whole? One of the guys came in here and talked about there's a sense of urgency. Do you sense that? Do you see something here that that makes you feel good about what's coming?
I would definitely attest to that, the sense of urgency. I think AG learned a lot from his first year. Good, bad, and ugly. And I think he wants to not just show the world, but show us that he's a guy that wants to win. He knows how to win. First year is always tough for any head coach. There's a lot of adjustments, and I think he is excited to apply what he's learned to year two. And then I think, like I was saying earlier, we have a lot of guys that came from across the league. Some guys been on winning programs, and some guys haven't. And I think just with that blend, everybody's bringing what they learned from those programs and ready to take the next step.
How's it maybe getting to know a guy like Demario Davis, who's just played so much football around the league?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's not only a great football player, but he's a great man. And I think that's why he's been able to play at the level that he has throughout his career. He's one of those dudes that just loves ball. He loves people. He's a very genuine person, very very genuine man. And he's a guy that has a heart for football. He has a nose for the football as well. I think he got a pick today, and it's exciting to be able to just talk ball with him. He's a guy, like you said, that has seen a lot of ball, has an extremely high football IQ, and the conversations that we have, you can't have with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor and it's a blessing to play with a player like him.
Speaking of picks, obviously they didn't have an interception last year here. Knowing what you know about AG's defense, the style of play, and what you have personnel-wise, how conducive is it to creating a lot of turnover?
Yeah, I think a main proponent of AG's defense is putting the quarterback in a blender. You know what I'm saying? Making it really tough on him, whether that's through disguises, through pressure, through drafting guys like DB, you know what I'm saying, who's an elite edge rusher. It's just finding ways to put pressure on him and make him make mistakes. And I think that's kind of the main proponent of it.
What are your early impressions of David Bailey?
Like I said, he's a guy that has elite edge rush skills. For a guy that his size, he has great bend, great athleticism. He has a really good hustle, really good engine as well. There's plays that are going all the way across the field, and he's chasing it down backside, and you could tell that he wants to win.
Minkah, what's your assimilation like? You have an interesting dynamic because your position coach is here, but he wasn't the play call Anthony Weaver was. So how does he help you assimilate in terms of he coached you, but it's not his system?
He's just coaching with AG, with Brian Duker are installing. Nah, that's it, really.
You know that he coached you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when you go to a new program and you have new coaches, new players, there's always the chemistry and they have to learn how I learn. I have to learn how they coach. You know what I'm saying? There's always that dynamic for sure. But since we worked together last year and we had a good rapport last year, we just brought that here.